This morning on the Hot Takes, we are talking about Court Annexed Mediation. Now, this might be a viable route for you if you found yourself in a legal battle.
Yeah, actually, we are being joined by experts to truly explore this process. We are joined virtually by Honorable Kendagor, who is a principal magistrate with the Kenya Judiciary and is the Mediation Deputy Registrar in the Court Annexed Mediation Secretariat in Nairobi.
But that's not it. We also have Rosemin Bhanji. She's with us. She's a lawyer, an advocate, and an accredited mediator.
Wow.
So these are the experts. But you know what? Let's hear it from them. Honorable Kendagor, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you very much, Radhika. My name is Caroline Kendagor. I'm a principal magistrate. I serve with the Kenya Judiciary, and currently I'm in charge of the Court Annexed Mediation Secretariat, which offers support on the implementation of the use of Court Annexed Mediation as an alternative dispute resolution mechanism under the umbrella of the court.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Honorable Kendagor. Rosemin, over to you. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. First of all, thank you for extending Honorable Kendagor and myself the opportunity to come and talk to Radio 44. We sincerely appreciate it. And as you said, yes, my name is Rosemin Bhanji. And for the purposes of this interview, I am a court annexed mediator. So technically, Honorable Kendagor is my boss, as it were. And yes, I'm a certified mediator, a court annexed mediator. I do practice ADR at a grassroots level. So I'm a community mediator as well. And I'm a trainer in mediation. And yeah, mediation is my passion. I eat, drink, and speak mediation.
Well, we're glad to have you on board since you're such an expert. And I have to say, if you have any questions around mediation, this is your opportunity to get them answered on 0758 123 444. We'll be diving in more into the process and to see who this can apply to. So keep it here. Up next, we've got some new music. It's Patli Kamaria playing for you on The Morning Fix.
Hey! We're ahead of the game, dropping this new track now.
This is new music.
And we've been exploring Court Annexed Mediation. Bhargav, had you heard about Court Annexed Mediation before this?
To be honest, no.
No, not at all.
No, I hadn't. And you know what, Rosemin, you had mentioned that you live and breathe mediation. So maybe you can tell me and someone out there what exactly is mediation.
So in the simplest way, a mediator is a neutral person, and a mediator will listen to both the sides of any conflict and will try as a facilitator, basically, to try and bring a resolution very objectively between the parties. But I think the most important thing is that mediation is part of the alternate dispute resolution landscape. Now, mediator will not impose a solution. So if you go to the court, there will be a judge, or in this case, for example, if Honorable Kendagor is there and if she's hearing a matter, she will give her ruling. A mediator doesn't give a ruling. A mediator will basically allow the parties to find their own homegrown solutions and then draft a settlement coming from whatever they feel is right and works for them.
So it sounds like more of a collaborative effort to solve an issue. And it does sound idealistic, but why exactly would someone choose the route of mediation when, we've gotten used to the court system, the traditional way it works? Could you just explain why someone would pick mediation? Rosemin, maybe you can take this one.
I can tell you that as a practitioner, as a mediation practitioner, that I have dealt with cases which have been in court for more than 15 to 18 years. And within around probably 4 to 6 months, we have managed to arrive at a settlement. And sometimes you have generations of family members, the grandparents, the parents, and the children who don't talk to each other because there is a dispute over the estate, or there is some kind of ill will between them because the estate or the assets haven't been distributed in proportion to what the family members feel. And those family members in a mediation or after a mediation actually hug each other and cry. The power of apology in a mediation is so great. is so great that one really has to experience it. And as a mediator, I can tell you why I'm so passionate about it, is I believe that sometimes, they say that sometimes God sends you into a battle, not to make it into a war, but to end it. And you try and end it as much as possible in an amicable fashion.
I love that. It's not about fighting. And Bhargav, I've heard a lot of this long legal battles between siblings in the Asian community.
Yes.
We see it a lot, and it takes a toll.
It does somehow, because you now forgetting about what you've lost, and now suddenly you're just fighting over the properties or money and not really adjusting to how it was given out, how it is distributed. So yeah, it happens.
Exactly. I'm sure Rosemin and Honorable Kendagor, you've seen a lot of cases like this. And Honorable Kendagor, we'll go to you next. We have a couple of questions that are streaming in, but for now, let's take it back into the music. Remember, if you have any questions about Court Annexed Mediation, this is your opportunity. This is a brand new track. It's Peaches, Justin Bieber. What do you think?
I like the vibe.
I like the vibe as well. The instrumental is really brilliant.
Yeah.
We should just get that part and just be talking over that music. Absolutely brilliant. New music. We've been really good with new music recently. I think everyone's woken up from COVID, and now we have a fresh playlist here on the Morning Fix. But this morning on the Hot Takes, we've been talking about Court Annexed Mediation, which is a process you can go through if you find yourself in a legal battle. It's an alternative. Instead of fighting it out in court, you deal with a mediator who kind of finds a middle ground. But I'm not the expert.
For both the parties.
Yes.
Yes, and yes, we aren't the experts. That's so true. We are joined by Honorable Kendagor and Rosemin Bhanji. So, Honorable Kendagor, could you just walk us through this mediation process?
So in the Court Annexed Mediation process, the screening of files is an assessment process where we look at those cases that have already been filed in court and examine whether they are suitable for referral to mediation. So once they are referred to mediation, we send the files to Court Annexed Mediation, a process which takes 60 days. And the mediator is appointed from a register that is kept by the Mediation Accreditation Committee. And the mediator and the parties are generally in charge in terms of setting up the sessions and processing the matter until completion. In the event that parties fail to reach settlement, the case is referred back to court and resolved through the adversarial process. And most desirably, in the event that they get into a settlement agreement, the agreement is adopted as an order or a judgment of the court and is enforced like any other order or judgment that would have come out of a ruling or a judgment that is delivered by a judge or a judicial officer.
Okay, so what I'm kind of getting here is you've had this issue in court and the judicial service is the one who's screening through it and then recommends you for mediation. But is there a secondary cost then you have to pay for this mediation? Honorable Kendagor, maybe you can tell us how much it would cost someone to go through the process of a mediation.
The process as we have currently, there's no cost implication for the parties when their matters are screened and referred to mediation. This is purely from the background that they had already paid court fees for their cases to be heard and determined. So for us to divert the case to mediation, there's no cost implication that comes in.
Well, so that's actually very good because you have this mediator at the same cost that you've already paid for.
Yeah,
so there's no extra.
It's not a double cost.
Yeah.
And it might actually be cheaper in the long run.
Exactly.
Because you'll solve the matter maybe a little bit faster.
Exactly. Now, we've spoken a lot about mediation and how it works, but what is the advantage of going this route than the court? Rosemin, maybe you can take this one.
I personally think as a practitioner, having done grassroots mediation and court annexed mediation, the biggest advantage is the preservation of relationships. I see people who come out of mediation, they want to shake hands. Sometimes they also want to hug, and they feel that the worst is behind them. Whereas in a court-related process, you see each other as adversaries. You want to go different sides of the road when you are done with your case. So for me, the biggest thing is the preservation and the harmony
I mean, that one I can totally see, because when you are in court, you see the other person as an enemy of sorts. And actually, even when I was studying law, there used to be this very famous quote that said, family relationships should always stay out of the court.
That is true.
And I'm glad to see that mediation is actually a way we can work through these problems. So if you are interested in mediation, it is a route you can take. You can, of course, consult with your lawyers, and you can also consult with us. You can send us your questions right now. We're not experts, but we've got them on a call right now. So you can call in, or you can text us on 0758 123 444. Up next, we've got some Sonu Nigam and some Alicia Chinoy. It's Aj Kirat playing for you on The Morning Fix. Where can they watch us, Bhargav?
Oh, radio44.co.ke.
Simple as that. If you can't watch right now, you can listen to us on 91.6 FM in Nairobi City. Pepeta, Rayvani and Nora Fateh, not starring her, she's singing in this track.
She's a queen.
She is a queen, and I love the collab with Rayvani.
Yes.
It's just that perfect vibe. It feels like a Friday now.
Oh yeah, it does. It actually does.
I feel like some songs should be banned only to play on Fridays. But this morning on the Hot Takes, we are talking about Court Annexed Mediation. And we've been in conversation with Rosemin Bhanji and Honorable Kendagor. And we have a couple more questions for them.
Yes, in fact, someone messaged in saying, who exactly can be a mediator?
Well, let's hear if you and I would make the cut.
So a Court Annexed, or we call them Accredited Mediators under the Court Annexed Mediation Program, are persons who are trained as mediators, and they go through an accreditation process with a committee established by the Civil Procedure Act, known as the Mediation Accreditation Committee. So this committee sieves through interested applicants, which is open generally for any field, and of course, to dispel one of the fears out there is that it is only open for lawyers. It is open for anybody from any professional background, as long as they are trained as mediators, and the Mediation Accreditation Committee is satisfied that the training which they have undergone is sufficient, that they have undertaken mediation before applying for accreditation as Court Annexed mediators. And then thirdly, that they are willing to adhere to a code of ethics that is already established. So we have mediation accreditation standards, which just elaborates what are those the criteria through which the accreditation committee looks at.
Thank you, Honorable Kendagor. That question was actually from Nelson. So there you go, Nelson. You can apply to be a mediator. I think you would be a very good mediator, Bhargav. You're good at finding middle grounds.
Yeah, probably.
There you go.
I think I'll apply. I probably will.
Well, we've got another question actually, which has just come in, asking about appeals. So let's say you've gone through this mediation process and you're totally unhappy with the outcome. Yeah. Is there a method where you can appeal as in traditional court, or is it set in stone?
Under the process that we have currently as set out in the practice directions, there is no avenue for appeal against a mediation settlement agreement that has been agreed upon, number one, by the parties. Number two, has been executed by both parties, means that they have appended their signatures to say that they are binding themselves to that agreement. And then three, that settlement agreement has been forwarded to court for adoption. And four, that settlement agreement has been adopted as an order or judgment of the court. So once those four stages have been complied with elaborately, and once it is adopted as an order or judgment of the court, there is no avenue for appeal, which avoids the issue of litigation of installments and the back and forth that would ordinarily have come with litigation, cutting all through from appealing and going through the different tiers of courts.
Well, there you have it. Mediation is solid.
Yeah.
It's not you've made this decision and then you can go back and forth. So we've been joined by Honorable Kendagor and Rosemin virtually. We want to stay COVID safe, but they are available to answer all of your questions, just like they did for Nelson. So please do message us 0758 123 444. 4. Up next, we've got some more brand new music.
Brand new music.
We've got A Shield, that's by Neha Kakkar, playing for you only on The Morning Fix. Good morning. You know when sometimes you tell girls like, you're beautiful, you don't need makeup? That was a good rendition. I just want to tell Neha Kakkar, you have a beautiful voice.
Yes, why
auto-tune?
Why?
Well, that was her new track, A Shield, playing for you on The Morning Fix. It has a vibe. That's the thing with Neha Kakkar. After you listen to the song, you still get into that party mood.
Yeah, now the whole day I'll just be singing this.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, this morning on the Hot Takes, we've been joined by Rosemin Bhanji and Honorable Kendagor. They are absolute experts in the field of mediation and court annexed mediation. And I think it's a great avenue for people who've been stuck in legal battles for so long.
Yeah. This might just be the way out.
I would say try it.
Yes.
Try this as a way out. And we'd just like to say thank you so much for joining us.
That is true. Thank you so much to Honorable Kendagor and Rosemin. And Honorable Kendagor, maybe you can just give us a last closing statement.
So the judiciary is committed towards the improvement of access to justice for all our litigants. And we are looking at mediation as one of the ways that can really help us to handle the issue of case backlog, the issue of the case turnaround time for the disputes that are filed in court. And we'd also like to improve the experience of our clients for the cases that have been filed in court through the use of court annexed mediation. And we have a slogan that says, a solution by you for you. And we encourage our parties that they can request for mediation. They can have the request presented either informally or formally during the attendances that they have before the judicial officers. And we welcome feedback on how we can improve the use of court annexed mediation. Now, of course, we are very happy to partner and with the LSK and the Babbage Committee. We have seen quite a bit in terms of an improvement on the settlement rate and a reduction on the non-compliance issue that would come in basically maybe because our clients were not fully sensitized on the benefits of mediation.
For that one, I loved that line, a solution for you by you.
Yep.
That is a good way to sum up what mediation is. Thank you again for joining us via Zoom. We are being we're abiding by COVID protocols. But if you have any more questions, we can send them over to Honorable Kendagor and Rosemin. You can WhatsApp us 0758-123-444. Up next, we've got another new track. It's Solo Layla playing for you on The Morning Fix.